Hey everybody, before we start today's video, I just want to give a quick shout out to Jeremiah from the Clockwork Savagery group. They're the play group that operates outside of Springfield, Illinois. Jeremiah was kind enough to make us a new logo for our community here and our channel. Just want to say thanks to him, and it never ceases to amaze me just how skilled and creative and generous the members of our community can be. So thanks so much, Jeremiah. Really appreciate it. All right, on to the battle report. Hey everybody, and welcome to Windy City Wargaming. I'm James, and with me is Marcus. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
I'm a Cryx player out of the Chicago meta. Been playing Warmachine for just a little over 2 years.
All right. I'm James. I've been around since 2012, and today we've got a great matchup between Cryx and Old Umbre using the new 2026 rule set, as well as the new 2026 Steamroller scenarios. So, Marcus, what did you bring today?
Today I brought Sepsira. It brought Hellraker along with it and a Arc Node Raptor. Can't leave home without Themystra. Opted for Malgrith, as I was kind of concerned with some of the getting through toughs and stuff like that. So brought Malgrith. We have Scarlock Lieutenant with a couple of Mechanothrall Swarms, 2 Necrosurgeon Initiates, double Night Terrors, a unit of Sludge Thralls, and also the Furies.
Is that it?
That's all I had. Just that was it.
That was all right. All right, and today I brought Captain Yana Kovaski. I brought her with a Feral with the Alki head and the bony spine. So I've got the Guard Dog and Primal Animus. I brought Strix, the Starved, an Animist, Damian Korovnik, Liegeman Urson Champion, a Lord of the Hunt, Veroni, Witchmark Totem, Chosen of the Witch, Liegeman Hunters, Liegeman Ursons, Liegeman Wardens, and a unit of Shearlings. For command cards, I brought Blessing of the Gods, Breakthrough, Hit and Run, Lucky Penny, and Old Faithful. All right, Marcus, why don't you take us through the terrain?
Yeah, from top to bottom, left to right, we have got a hill up on the top left, then the obstruction and a crater on the top right. Then we have some water, some fire clouds, and some tall grass right in front of your deployment. And then we have cloud. We have a rough terrain. I believe we played that as rough terrain. Forest, and then we have a wall, poison water, and we just played the tower as an obstruction, not with the those tower rules.
Yeah, I don't really think they updated too much with the building rules, so it's still a little messed up.
Obstructions they are.
Yep, they're just fancy bricks. Okay, and then for the scenario, we were playing Fault Line, so that includes the 250s in the middle, 2 40s on either side. You score 1 VP for each objective, and if you score 2 of your own objectives, then you get an additional VP, and if you score 3 objectives, then you get another VP. After that, we can just jump right into deployment.
So I deployed kind of a standard deployment, Sepsira right in the middle with the Hellraker sitting alongside her. Got the Night Terrors off kind of not on the far sides, but spread out enough to just be able to kind of threaten and funnel folks in, and then sporadically sprinkled in between. Got the Mechanothralls to provide some shield guard supports. Got the Furies in the middle, just so I can be dynamic with them as well. And then Sludge Thralls at the top half of the screen. My thought was kind of use them to score the 40 piece that's closest to me, while also being a general deterrent with sprays and the eventual, if you come in and kill me, I'll just explode on you. What about you?
Sorry, I'm distracted by the thought of you exploding on me. Alright, so for deployment, I have Lord of the Hunt up at the top there, along with Strix. That's the idea with that, was just to give me some mobility. kind of around that house, being able to pop in and out, take some shots in the early game before having to commit the Lord of the Hunt. And then I've got the unit of Liegeman Wardens on that side as well to start scoring the 40s up there. After that, you've got Yana and the Goats, as well as Damien, Korovnik in the middle there. Chosen's more towards the Starved is more towards the center to provide that gnawing pain aura next to the Bears and the Chosen to make them extraordinarily kind of sticky wherever they're at, as well as help score. And then the Feral's kind of behind. The Feral I'm probably going to want for the initial scoring of the 50s and see where that goes. And then the unit of Hunters just to sort of pop out early and take shots of opportunity. All right, so should we just get into it?
Yeah, let's dive in. Kind of looking out proxy. As you can see, I'm a professional Cryx player and have not performed my apparitions just yet, but I think we'll get to that here in a moment, because I know what I'm doing. Sepsira starts activating. I end up running her up the table like you typically do, just to bully the whole 18-inch threat. And then this is where I remember the apparate, and James was very nice to let me take my apparitions after the fact. So, well played, sir. Thank you very much. I asked with my eyes, and you didn't say no. The idea with the Night Terrors is to, after the apparition, move them up 7, so that way they get the place in the repo. Want to try to threaten as much as you can with the boards, while trying to keep them, relatively safe, just to kind of keep the opponent honest with their placements. So trying to bully enough of the boards. I think I should have done a little bit better of a job placing some of my Mechanothralls for the shield guard supports. We'll see that kind of end up biting me in the butt later, but you see me asking James kind of some move and shoot threat ranges for some of his folks. I had forgotten up until next turn that those huntsmen have headshot, so that was fun to deal with, but spoiler for next round. But you can see me being a little bit cagey here, probably more than I should have, but that's what it is. Mechanothralls run up, so did pretty good shield guarding over here. Got some shield guards for the upcoming Hellraker, and also the Night Terrors. Malkrith running up to hopefully provide the layer support, and then we drop in the Hellraker there. Moving through the rest of my army, kind of just bringing them up for support. Again, here's me placing the other group of Mechanothralls. Should have been better. Unfortunately, I did not have the distance to be able to protect that top Night Terror, so kind of out in the open. Hopefully it sticks around to be able to threaten the board. And then, as I talked about during the deployment, the idea was to run the sludges up there, be a force that they would need to go through to get to my 40.
I know that with the new scenario, one of the things that needs to be practiced most is going to be how you're trading into scenario. So while I'm thinking about it, I'm just doing the easy stuff. I sacrifice a Liegeman Warden to see how many corpses are inside. That one had a really big breakfast, so I got 3 corpses out of it that go onto Veroni there up at the top. And then with that, I'm out of stalling tactics, so I'm going to figure out what I want to do with the Lord of the Hunt. I'm thinking, okay, maybe I can dump some corpses onto Lord of the Hunt. He'll have Hunter with the 3, which will let me maybe take some pot shots at the ghostly cav guy. What are they called?
The Night Terrors.
Help. Night Terrors, thank you. Yeah, so I want to see if I can just at least take out that Night Terror If I can take out that one Night Terror, that relieves a ton of pressure on the board. Because remember, at the beginning of his next turn, he can apparate forward and then just kind of like sling him wherever he wants, which I don't like. So I'm seeing how far I have to go. I know that I've got to activate Yana first, get Dash up and running, but I also probably want that wind wall thing as well. So I move the totem up because I know I'm going to need that next turn. I move my hunters out because I'm going to want them to stay relatively safe, but present on the scenario. Now I'm trying to figure out where I can position my Ursins, so I just don't immediately give them up because those things will shred them because of the finisher. So there's not really a ton of protecting there. I also want to see how much I can threaten with the Chosen, keeping them relatively central. Because they do a really good job against both the Night Terrors because they have magic weapons, so that helps with the incorporeal, or they just wreck the Hellraker, especially if you can hit that crit decap, right, Marcus?
Oh yeah, it's great.
Yeah. So at this point, we're just sort of shoving things forward. We're gonna get the Starved up there in position. I probably should have measured this a little bit more carefully so that he's more relevant in the scenario perspective. We just sort of nudged the feral out there. Goats, we're going to move out as like that, placing one goat out to the right. Then we're going to repo. What this allows me to do is next turn, I'll basically be able to spread kind of where I need to on the board, but more importantly, it lets me keep the shepherd safe, and then when one goat moves, I can apply Eyeless Sight, which would help with that big fire cloud in the middle. So here, I think now I'm trying to decide if I want to gamble on the shots against the Night Terror, but one thing I'm going to do... Oh, and with the shepherd, I also give Blessed to Yana, for her guns, and so she's gonna try to take out that dude, because maybe we'll get lucky with that. She's Rat 7, it's Def 18 in cover, meaning I need an 11. It doesn't happen, and now realize, okay, maybe I'm a little aggressive here, but we're just gonna use her amazing Repo 2. Just get her back to safety, and all should be fine. Yeah, so here we're debating. I go ahead and move with the Strix just to kind of put it out there. It's in a crater, so it's going to have some cover. Not that it matters much against the Thralls, but it's going to do a decent job threatening anything that kind of comes around that corner onto that objective, or if I can get the +2 speed from Yana, I can just sort of walk over where I need to be. Now we move the Lord of the Hunt. We go ahead and try to shoot that dude, the Night Terror around the corner. I'm going to be at maximum range, fishing for an 8, and do not get it. And from there we repo 5 because he has repo 5. It's amazing. Then we're gonna just put those wardens up, sort of as a bubble wrap to Yana, in case anything can kind of get over there. So Yana's a juicy target, but anything he puts up there to try to go after Yana, that gives Yana a really good, easy, non-threatening targets to chew through to trigger the +2 speed and Matt. And then over to Marcus.
Yep. So I correctly remember to apparate, again, because I'm a professional Cryx player.
We're really
we
proud of you.
upkeep the Death's Dominion that I had put up on Sepsira for free due to our best friend Themestra. Going through and checking some ranges in here. I'm able to kind of keep some things honest with Sepsira's, long 18-inch Mechanothrall bomb threat. For the most part, everything else kind of out-threatens outside of some even threat range trades with the Night Terrors, but obviously I want to get some value out of them. So taking a look to see what my options are for any type of engagement. The other thing I'm kind of considering here is the scenario component as well, of how much do I want to commit here, given that James controls scoring. There's the additional scoring elements, but also I don't want to put too much up in there, have him completely wipe me out, and then have nothing for me to strike back to kind of claw my way back up in there. So this was the first time that we got to play this scenario, so I know a lot of that when I go through the tank. That's kind of what's going through my head, but again, trying to take a look to see what type of threat options that I have here. So right now, looks like I have a charge option to get to Strix. The problem being is Strix has admonition, so as soon as you place within 6 inches of Strix, he gets to fly away and make a full advance. And again, since he's got wings, he can fly. So we were taking a look.
3-inch advance.
3-inch, sorry. So
yeah.
That's Enliven. I'm mixing it up with Enliven. So I was taking a look to see, is there a way that I could not only charge, but also put my other Night Terrors in a spot where it didn't give him a landing zone. And ultimately, I was not going to be able to box him in, and I would have basically had a bunch of failed charges there. So once again, taking a look at some of James's threat ranges, kind of going back and forth debating whether I want to put things, or how much things I want to put in there to score, so it's not just an easy run up on all 6 scenario elements and just bully me a bunch of points to nothing. So I end up committing movement here on the sludges. Basically measuring a range so that way Strix can't easily charge in to take them, but also giving me some opportunity to kind of peek around the corner and threaten that flag, or the 40 up top. Just marking the threat of the Chosen. Get a lot of value out of that 9-point unit. So they do scare me a lot. Been crit decapped by that thing more times than I'd care to admit. And I'm sure it's a hell of a drug for old Umbre players. But you see me being very scared of the Chosen unit with my Hellraker. It's absolutely wild to think about, but if things go very well, it can go very bad for me. So we park it just outside of their threat range. Moving Mulgrowth up again just to provide kind of a layer 2 of support for when we start getting into engagements. And then checking ranges for both placement and repo on the Night Terrors, because again, I want them to still be threatening, but I also don't want to commit them to just be bowled over inconsequentially. Place, and then repo with the fact that they're incorporeal, can get them into really nice spots. Repo, and then I'm wanting to be threatened, or threatening. I also want to be threatened sometimes too, but want to be threatening while also not just giving you an easy charge onto my cav unit there. Bringing up the rest of the support models, making sure that Scarlock Lieutenant is within enough range to give his 10-inch shield guard bubble. And ultimately, with the Night Terrors, I end up kind of just resetting their placement a little bit, continue to threat that side of the board while also not trying to commit too much, just to give them an opportunity to give a crack back. Because I've kind of conceded here at this point that I'm going to give James some points here pretty inconsequentially, but I also want to make sure that I can crack back and try to claw back from a scoring perspective. I think I left the table too. Yeah, right there I went.
Yeah.
And back to you.
All right. So Marcus gave me just enough rope to hang myself with, so that was cool. Anybody who's played against me knows that my biggest enemy isn't across the table from me. It's just to the right there. It's the clock. So I'm going to think about how to just move things forward. This is less than 24 hours after the new rules dropped. I think we all kind of recognize it's going to be more infantry heavy and more about the trades. So a lot of this game too is just sort of trying to figure out how that works. So I'm kind of going into the tank, trying to figure out how to make the most of what Marcus gave me here. I know I want to see what I can take over there. Lord of the Hunt, I'm not necessarily wanting to commit fully right now. I know as far as I'm concerned, he's a piece that you want sort of for that later game. I'm also looking down there at the Hunters, realizing that, okay, I move the unit of Hunters up. I can score 140, keep the cav in the back on that other 40, and score one of the center 50s. That'll bring me up to 4 total because of the one enemy 40 and then 2 of my own objectives there. I'm not sure that I'm going to be able to score any of the 40s up at the top there because I think the one sludge thrall is in contesting range.
Yep.
And the Night Terror isn't.
Correct.
So my first move is to go ahead and just move the totem up so I'm just within 5 inches of the sludge thrall, dropping its armor by 1. I'm moving Strix out of the way. Then we're going to move the Lord of the Hunt in and try to shoot him to death. So we hit, and it is a Weapon Master POW 11. So that'd be dice off 5. I forgot how much damage I did, but not enough to kill him.
Yep. And I'm trying to check ranges here to make sure I'm still scoring, but also potentially contesting. So.
Yeah, he was about to evasive it out of scoring range of his 40, so he had to move it back towards the other 40, which allowed me to take the second shot and just remove the damn thing. So I repo, just kind of moving back a little bit, playing maybe a bit more cagey than I should have. Then we're going to go ahead and see if I can run those Liegeman Wardens up. I can get just within 3 inches with the first guy, and that's the only one that you need to have in range of, or in that 14-inch range of the objective, because the rest can just sort of pile in. So I know that's going to be sort of my later move, just so I can get the 2 extra points for scoring all my own stuff. So here I go. I know I'm going to need to do that. They're going to need a run to do it. So they're just going to mosey on up. So that's going to put me in position to take a nice 6-point lead at the end of this turn. I don't know what to do about that Night Terror, and it's scaring me. So I don't know how aggressive to get with Yana to try to deal with it. Like I said, Yana's rat isn't amazing, but it's not bad. So we're just gonna move her on up and try to yeet something to make something happen. So we go ahead and roll, and that doesn't happen.
You do hit. I just had a shield guard there, hidden behind the clouds.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Okay, cool. That's better than I remember. Your memory is so much better than mine. It's amazing. So that's actually shocking that I hit that. I needed an 11, but we boosted. But we kill the Mechanothrall. I don't think you get the tough on it.
I did not, yeah. It's off.
So that triggers Conferred Rage. So now we get to see what I want to do with that +2 speed. I know I want to score the center there. I just realized that the Colossal, the Hellraker, is within 3 inches of your objective. And that means I'm just not going to score it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move my champion into a place to give that really sweet +1 to hit on these hunters. And then I'm going to move the hunters up. You get that great view of my awesome hat. Best in the NFC North, you know. And then we're going to start taking some shots. I hate the Mechanothralls, so I'm going to go about them in a way that I can sort of kill them the way that I want to kill them and take out as many from the front. Obviously, I don't have a ton of control over this because of Shield Guard. So I'm going to operate in a way that I'm going to take my farthest back shots first so that he can't do the inverse as well and start taking from the front if I, hit the back, and now I'm left without shots I can take. The headshot is really nice because it means that there's no tough.
Not a fan.
And they're RFP'd.
Not a fan.
So he can't bring them back. I'm a huge fan. Then with the actual unit of Ursins, I'm going to go ahead and just put them on that 40 over there. And have one flipped out to the edge there. That's going to allow me to threaten either side because they have that combination of unstoppable and the new unit movement mechanic. Or I guess it's not new now. Mark IV has been around long enough. And then here I am putting the Chosen just outside of 13 of the Hellraker. In hindsight, I'm playing way too cagey with this. I need to start making some more aggressive plays, but I know I'm going to have to trade out a War Beast to start the scoring. So Veroni's going to head over there because I know those hunters are not long for the world. And then we move the Starved just outside the Hellraker's threat range. Right here I'm fighting the 3D terrain. We put the goats out there. Repo them out. I do like sometimes spreading them out with the repo so I can choose a side later. But now we're going to go ahead and just move and leap with the Feral. That's going to put me in contesting range of the second 50 while scoring the third one. So I'm going to go up 1, 2, 3, 2 points bonus, plus 1 from the enemy objective, which is going to put me 6-0.
I ended up scoring that 40, so I think it was 6-1, but still,
a
lot of work that I got to claw myself back from. So going through vengeance movements, trying to give myself some charge options. Go through my apparates, 2 for 3 today, feeling good, looking good. Again, taking a look to see kind of what I can do. I need to basically score enough to try to stay in this game, take enough, but also, again, like I was saying earlier, not completely smash my entire army here to be wiped off the table. So kind of go in the tank a bit to see some order of operation stuff. I guess in hindsight, Yana assassination probably could have been a potential thing. But I think
she has 1 goat and 3 fury on her, though. I think that's what dissuaded me.
That may have been a big dissuading factor because I don't think I could shoot through that much. I think I was initially trying to get over the 6-1 deficit too, of like, oh man, I gotta make sure we activate this in the right directions, because sometimes being in that headspace, you activate a unit out of order, and kind of send.
And the other thing dissuading you from the Yana was also 9 pain was up on the Starved. I forgot to mention
That's
that.
right, yes.
So you have to contend with the -2 aura.
I knew there was a smart reason as to why I didn't go for this assassination attempt. Yeah, there I go, kind of looking at some of that, see, like, hey, is there a way that I can clear some of that up? But I think I end up ultimately defaulting away from that. This scenario is tough, though, right? Like, kind of, there's like a big swings back and forth with some of the scenario points. And I think it's something that we're gonna have to get used to, because I think, like I was saying earlier, overcommitting too much stuff could probably be in a world of trouble. So there has to be like a right amount that we gotta commit in, while also not being too cagey or not being overextended with your army placement.
Yeah, and I mean, our meta is just really not great with just pushing things forward.
Being on the clock.
We play very cagey.
We end up going with Sepsira. We're casting a Breath Stealer through the Arc Node, try to help with some of that defense. So I think once I hit, I have enough power to be able to wipe those guys off, but it was more of just trying to secure some hits here. I end up putting Grave Touched on the back cav model through. I believe I have the range. Can't see because of my Hellrakers in the way. I believe I'm firing off. That's right, I missed the first one, and then I'm firing off the second one that did end up sticking. Bring the Furies up. I think we're checking ranges into the Primeval, right?
The starved.
The starved.
But this is when you find out that you can't throw spells at them.
Yep, that's a fun rule. So I think we end up committing to the little guy in the middle. We get a crit blind there. Doesn't happen often, but it feels good when it does. And then spike the damage roll. That was pretty nice. Hit, and it looks like we spiked another damage roll there. Yeah, I think because I have the cav charge, yeah, we end up going in. Really wanted that initial damage on the starved, but since we couldn't, we weren't able to bring finisher online for the first charge. But I think we try to make do here. Good damage on good hit roll there, and I think you end up letting that happen, but flub the charge attack. That looked good. Hit with the second.
I think
right. Yeah.
Yeah. So there's finisher.
There's the finisher attack. Do go through with that one. Man, I was spiking those hits or those damage rolls. I think I end up missing that last attack. And unfortunately, even with some of those spike damages, I don't think I was able to. Doesn't look like I was able to.
You missed 2 attacks, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's tough to punch through at that point.
Yeah, looking at options here and committing the Hellraker, or where I could put him. I think it was a little bit too far on that other side middle placement, so we end up regrowing out just to try to split up some of the engagement, make it a little bit difficult to clear them all, so that way you don't just do it with one unit. Powering up the Hellraker, give one over to the little chicken jig as well. There we go. Pop in. I believe we do a Thresher, but it wasn't enough, I don't believe. Pow 12, what's your 16?
Yeah, but if you're in the 9 pain, it's effectively 18.
Yeah.
And then you kill him.
Yeah, I think I ended up smashing pretty good.
You always do.
I know.
So then you're throwing some shots at the starved.
I believe I was shooting at the starved, and I don't think it did enough damage to even pierce some of the armor. So here we're taking a look to see if we can start mopping up some of those huntsmen up top. I think we end up getting a couple of them to drop. Yep, we're able to clear some, but still holding strong here. Figured if you commit your little huntsman over, they'll probably die to the explosions. So felt relatively safe to kind of keep them where they were. In hindsight, I probably should have contested that 40.
Might have been good.
Yeah. I think I kind of realized I was in the tank too long, so kind of rushing my movement here. The surgeons bring back the shield guards that ended up dying last turn to get me to full. Malgrith coming up, bringing the rear. I believe we end up taking the chicken in. Yep, charge through the incorporeal model. Trying to get a little bit of work done here to help out the mechanothralls that should be coming up next. So I think we end up getting just one of those.
For now.
For now. And then, yep, now I end up throwing in the mechanothrall. The solo the solo one that was there. Ended up doing enough damage there. I think we were checking corpse range, if I was not mistaken.
Yeah, seeing if Aroni could make use of that hunter. Spoilers, it could.
We end up charging in with the night terrors. I did want to take them into the cavalry, but because we weren't able to get too much work done over here, we ended up just finishing up, I believe.
Yep, and it's a good thing you did that breath stealer, because that saved you 2 misses, I think, on that as well.
100% did. And then luckily that bottom right night terror was in a spot to not only score this piece, but also just being contesting. And I think I just ended up trying to body block somewhat as much as I could. I forgot that I had precision strike on that solo over there. I moved up the rest of the supporting folks and ended up passing the turn over to you. I score a couple more to kind of keep me in game. And over to you.
Yep, I think at this point it's 7 to 4? 5?
5, I think, since I was able to score my 3.
Right, your 3 gives you +2, so it's 5,
6.
so you'd be at 6, yeah. So here I'm checking some charge lanes with the solo to see what I can get in there and do. And trying to figure out how to clear as much as possible and take kind of like a pretty big scenario lead and force clock issues on them. Fun fact, if you think about how to force your opponent into clock issues too long, you sort of lose that advantage. So my brain's kind of moving glacially here. I think I know I'm going to want the Liegeman. Oh, this game's a lot easier when you move terrain. So I know I'm going to want to take out the Hellraker, so I move the Totem out into the center there. Totem does 2 things. One, it's just a move I can make without thinking too much. And 2, it's -1 armor. So then my second move is going to be using the Lord of the Hunt to shoot one of the Furies.
Yeah.
But you shield guard it.
Yep.
And then I move the shield, and it's Grievous, so you don't get tough. And then I move the corpse out to the starved. Shoot it again. And I think on this one, you don't have a shield guard?
Yeah.
Or maybe, yeah. So I get 4 dice damage because it's a character. So then I move that other corpse to the starved and move him back because at this point he is on his fat stack of 5. So that helps with some of the Mortal Fear issues, because I took the one that was out front. Here I'm moving the solo in to try to unjam the rest of my Liegeman Ursons. I have a cavalry charge and roll a 6, which will miss.
Not good.
And I go ahead and proceed to miss every attack with him. So that was cool. So now I got to figure out what to do. Kind of throws me for a loop because I had this like grand idea of like having this nice little cascade, but no, that's not gonna happen. So again, we're kind of talking about some shield guards and what's in range of what. I repo the champion up just a little bit, so it's gonna be more relevant. I think to both scenario pieces, I think it's within 3 of that back 40, but obviously didn't measure. That's just eyeballing it. So then we're trying to figure out what to do with Yana, and how to more efficiently start everything off, and debating between whether or not I want to start with Yana or start with the chosen, or starved actually. Chosen will come later, so we just go ahead, start with the starved. I think at this point I had to use the Old Faithful card at the beginning of the turn, just to get its spirit back online, and then we rewind it. I'm not sure why. I'm sure I saw something much more clever, and I was owed from the apparitions.
Remember to apparate, folks, then you have to give gimmies like that.
Yeah. Just you're unlocking a wave of slop. So at this point, I'm pretty frustrated on that left flank, so I send Veroni in and see if Veroni can just get it done. So Veroni is, I think, a whopping mat 5. I think we miss our first one, hit our second one, and miss our third one. It's a POW 11, so doesn't do a ton because he's arm
16.
14, 15,
16.
16?
Yep.
Something like that.
16.
Again, move Veroni in a place where it's going to contest that 40. Veroni's very good at contesting. And you can leave Veroni out there, and if they don't kill Veroni, it can just eat corpses and heal itself again. It's legal. No one can stop you. So then we're going to start with Yana. Yana's going to go ahead and just kind of like shimmy over. We're going to see what we can't pick up with some basic melee attacks, using our amazing Mat 7. And fail to kill with the initial. Miss. And then hit. And take that out with the third. And then we're going to yeet a shot into, I think, the other guy. Yep, hit. That was a POW 13. I think I critted on it. I can't remember. Which, let me get the AP. We spend the 2 for dash, and then lever on 1. Then send the starved in. The starved rolls a mighty 5, which still hits. And at this point, I'm effectively POW 19 because of the totem. So we're just going to see how to chew through as much as possible. And then I spend a lot of time thinking while rolling dice. So we're in the bide territory now. We had a few flubbed rolls, a few cranked ones. But I think overall, relatively average. But all we need to do is get it in a position to die to the Chosen. I was hoping to save the Chosen for later, so I can use them against the Night Terrors. So on this one...
You ended up doing enough damage that I was like, oh boy, I'm going to need to drop my my carapace grenades before you take out my system. So that's what that was. I was hoping to wait for at least the Chosen to come over to maybe try to take one out and spike one real good, but it didn't end up happening.
Yeah. And then here, we're just going to charge in. We're going to lead with the blindy one, and get Knight kind of in the rear there. We're going to keep Dawn close to the Mechanothrall in case everything goes well. We're rolling 4 dice because of the Divine Inspiration. So we do some decent damage. But not world ending. You see, even after dropping the lowest, we're having some problems. And then they're getting 2 attacks each because of Yana's feet as well. Should probably mark that better next time. But we take care of that. That gives us our 50 in the middle for scoring. And then we can go ahead and just get Strix up there for additional scoring and to take out that last Night Terror. And then we can pay for sprint and contest over there and make things really annoying. We move that Cav over to try to take out that Night Terror just so we can score that other 40. And with enough dice rolls, we can do it. And then from there on out, it's more about where we're going to put our goats. We move the wardens up just so they're contesting the other ones while scoring it. And at this point, I thought I had 5 seconds, but I had 2.
We were fighting with that pause button all day, but we decided to just rock and roll. So you end up scoring 5 more points there to my 0, so I'm still pretty far behind. Yeah, I think we are trying to figure out what can we do to get back in. Yeah, there's the time element where I could just try to play that to my advantage, but usually with these practice games we like to use clock as a reference, but also ignore that. So I was looking for ways to be able to claw back into this game from a scenario perspective, try to get enough off the table. I think I was looking also for a way to just kill Yana as well. So looking at the placements, Power of Death, end up shooting a Stygian Abyss. I don't know if that was enough damage to do anything. 2 for 4 on apparates. Yep, 2 for 4 on apparates.
Yep.
Was not doing good today. Today is not a good day for apparates. Yeah, I think we're just back and forth on order of operations. Bring in Malgrith. I don't get to hit him much, or attack with him much, and then I go, oh yeah, about that admonition thing. That sucked. So technically, even with that Admo, great play by James, that also did technically clock him. So
yeah,
I think in a technical standpoint, I had officially won then at that point. But again, like I was mentioning earlier, play this one out to try to see the rest of the game, if you will, air quotes. Throw some Mechanothralls into Strix. Since I now remember Admo, he can't Admo twice in one turn. I think we're able to pump a little bit of damage into him, but not too much. So we end up trying to finish this off with Sepsira. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, and that Admo blocked the charge lane for Sepsira to get to Yana with the Mechanothralls.
Yep. Yeah, so we end up throwing some damage in with Sepsira, buying attacks, buying damage into Strix, trying to do enough. I don't think I was able to spike any of these too much. I think we end up dropping. Yeah, we do drop them. We end up feeding, get them in range, and then I think at this point I realize that, but I think either there was some line or something there.
You were just outside of 9 inches of Yana where you could
That's
place
what
the
it was.
Mechanothralls because of where the Furies were.
Yeah.
That's why the Strix move was so important, because you needed the direct line,
Yep.
basically.
So officially, I think we dock this as a win for myself. But if we play it out and don't consider the clock, James ends up winning with a big lead on scenario, as I wasn't able to claw back. But what are your thoughts on this scenario and how this went?
It's a fast scenario. For planning purposes, I definitely was very happy that I had 2 small units of Liegemen in here to start trades on the scenario, because you can't give a big advantage or leave it completely uncontested.
Yeah.
Because if you leave it uncontested too, now they can fight back from deeper on their own thing.
Yep.
To make it harder for you to trade. So it moved fast. I was kind of shocked by that.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, like you just mentioned, I mentioned earlier, like there's like a finesse balance there of how much you commit, I think, that we're all just going to need to get used to. But then also that changes from army to army as well. The other thing that I find interesting, at least with the whole scenario packet stuff, is it's really kind of questioning how I'm building my army. This list is very similar, if not identical, to what I would have run back in the 2025 scenario packets. So I'm kind of going back and forth of, do I change my list so that way I can, try to score things with more flexibility, or do I kind of keep to what I've done before and try to overrun certain scenario pieces to, secure them and then kind of flood your other half of the board from that perspective. So a lot of things to kind of consider and think about. At least kind of what I'm challenged with right now. Yeah, it's a very interesting scenario. Very swingy with the scoring, but also you could easily get rolled if you're not able to crack back enough.
Yeah, you look away for just a second and it's out of your hands. I used to try to play like a refused flank on damn near every game and every table and just win one side fast and claw back the rest. And I feel like with this, it's just not an option.
Yeah.
You need an army that's able to spread out and at least be present everywhere, which I feel like cuts into my support budget a bit too.
Yeah.
Like when I'm looking for units to be on those things, because everything in the packet is mostly unit heavy as well. Not nearly as battle group focused as I feel like 2025 was.
Right.
If you guys want to see different matchups, either between these 2 armies and different warcasters, or whatever army matchups you want to see, comment down below. Any last thoughts, Marcus?
I think overall it's going to be easy to get in the tank, so just got to work on ways to stay out of the tank as much as possible. Just trying to further understand how armies are going to plan around the scenario packets and how we can counter and try to stay above others. So it'll be an interesting ride here for the next few months.
And I'm here for it. All right. Well, thanks, everybody.